What do the Greens think should have happened to this particular boat that's been intercepted? They've now been sent back to Sri Lanka. What should have happened to them?
Well, David, you know our position when it comes to innocent people seeking asylum. We don't believe in offshore processing. We think that people should be processed in Australia, should be done quickly, that people should have health and security checks, and if they're found to be genuine refugees, they should become citizens of this country and be allowed to contribute. That, of course, means that we also need to keep working on a regional solution. We need to spend time creating safer pathways for people. We need to resource UNHCR so that where some of these boats are coming from, that people know that there's a clear pathway to have their refugee status assessed.
OK, but to be clear, you're saying anyone who comes on a boat should be made an Australian citizen, you just said then. Isn't that going to roll out the red carpet?
If they are found to be genuine refugees, David, and that is consistent with our international obligations, it's consistent with what most decent countries do. We can do it in a way that ensures that we resource the UNHCR to provide safer pathways for people. It means you don't have people locked up indefinitely for 6 years, innocent people self-harming, this epidemic of mental illness factories created in places like Manus and Nauru. We think it's the decent, compassionate thing to do. And we've long held that position.
I appreciate the point about the length of time there.
With our international obligations.
But we know what happened last time. We didn't have offshore processing. A lot of people actually died trying to come to Australia.
Well, again, I think one of the things that needs to happen is to ensure that in countries like Indonesia, that we resource the UNHCR so that people don't feel that they need to take that journey, that they know there's actually a queue. There wasn't a queue in many of these places, that they know there's a reasonable time that they can wait in those countries to have their refugee status assessed. And if they're found to be refugees, they can settle here.
Let's look at a few things I want to talk about. The temporary exclusion orders legislation. Labor's decided they'll move amendments but won't stand in the way of these laws becoming a reality. The Greens, what position will you be taking?
Well, what a surprise, again, that Labor's folded and basically given the coalition all they want. I'm starting to wonder what Labor stands for right now. You know, they've given the coalition basically everything they've asked for these last few days. They've rolled over on these laws, despite the fact that the secretive Joint Security Committee recommended changes. They rolled over on the drought assistance package, despite expressing strong concerns. You know, it's about time they recognise that to be in opposition doesn't mean adopting the policies of the government. And Ed Hussig's absolutely right. What Labor should be doing is taking a stand, showing a bit of courage and being an opposition. I mean,